Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Tales of the Valiant CR Exposed. And on today's episode we are looking at the zombie, as you can see up here in the upper corner. And we will be taking a look at this monster here in just a moment, but before we do that, let's get into the business. The business is this tool. If you'd like to use this tool for yourself, you can do so by grabbing it from the link in the description below for my Ko-fi page, where you can get this tool completely for free, or you can donate if you feel so inclined to. Other than that, there are also custom classes, subclasses, and monsters, as well as a bunch of other things going on there. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you can join here on YouTube and become a member for as little as $1 a month, or join me on Ko-fi there as well. Beyond that, if you also subscribe, like, support, thumbs up, comment, share, you know, all that stuff, that would be greatly appreciated. And with the business out of the way, trying to keep it as quick as possible, let's take a look at this monster here. So the monster is from the Monster Vault 1 for Tales of the Valiant, and you will see that it is a medium undead with armor class of an 8. So let's first off reset my tool because I was doing some other things for another game, and we will go ahead and, well, we'll deal with that 8 in just a moment here. So first what we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw in the stat modifiers, because that will help us greatly here. So we have a 2, a -2, a +3, I don't know why I did like that, -4 for intelligence, a 0, and a -3. So now with the dexterity reduced to 2, we see that we have an 8 here. Now the next thing we have to do is verify its hit points. The hit points should be a 16. As we can see here, we are looking at a CR 1/4, which means we need to reduce this from a 0 to a -1, which means our hit points should actually increase a little bit with all the modifications that we're doing here. So with that, we next look at the speed of our monster. Our monster here has a movement of 20 feet, which means it's much slower than most monsters here, and we need to actually update that. So we'll come down to this section, update the walking speed to 20. It is the only speed that it has, which means we now get a buff here. So at the moment we have a couple buffs, but these are automated responses in the tool that you don't have to worry about checking yourself, and will need to, you don't have to worry about that. So it's all nice and modified or automated, which is really great to see. So we'll come back and check this in a little bit. After that, we have the speeds all set. The perceptions and stealth don't matter for the case of the CR here. We do have immunities to undead resilience, which if we drop down to here, we'll see that undead resilience is the zombie is immune to poison damage, to exhaustion, and to the poisoned condition. Now these are all 1 each in different areas, so we shouldn't see anything trigger, but we'll see what happens in a minute. So we have immunity to poison damage, and poison is right here. And then we have immunities to exhaustion and the poisoned condition. So let's see here. We got poisoned, we are immune here, and we are exhausted. We're immune to exhaustion. Now, because we only have 2 conditions here, we won't see anything trigger from there, but because we do have one item here for immunity to poison, we will get a slight reduction here of -5%. So what we're seeing here is that the creature has only one type of damage, asterisk, to which it is resistant or immune, and it's lower than CR 19 or CR 19 or lower. Now the asterisk means bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. In Tales of the Valiant, they treat this as 1 rather than 2 or 3 like in D&D 5th edition. So going forward, we will then go ahead and take a look at the next items. We have some senses and languages. Those don't matter. We've already taken care of the stats here for our monster. So we'll go ahead and look at Undead Fortitude. If damage reduces the zombie to 0 hit points, it must make a con save with a DC of equal to 5. Otherwise, it comes back at 1 hit point. Now this should be in here somewhere. Perfect, yes, it's right here. What we do is we check the box here in the blue area. That will trigger this because there's no way to do this automatically, and we are now applying a -15 or a -5 to our hit point adjustments. At the moment, we're seeing that we are currently getting a positive 15, but that's because we haven't figured out the proper damage as well. So the AC is correct because our AC is much lower than the expected, and going back to the AC here for a minute, we are expecting to have an AC of 10 to 12, but our zombie has an AC of 8. So what Tales of the Valiant likes you to do is at the lowest, you start calculating from here. So for every 1 point of AC that you are below that, you get, you know, a multiplier times the adjustment. So we're getting 10% extra hit points for having our AC much lower than it's expected to have. Now the damage per round is times every 2 points, but we haven't worked out our damage yet. After looking at Undead Fortitude, we move on to Undead Nature. That doesn't matter. It's null and void here for the CR. We've already looked at Undead Resilience, so we can move into the actions and bonus actions for our monster. Now, the Slam here is a +4, which means it should be coming from Strength, I believe. Yes, we have the +2 and the +2 from our proficiency bonus here, giving us a +4 for Strength, so that's perfectly good. And then the damage is going to be 5 damage, and if the target is grappled, if it is a medium or smaller creature, the zombie doesn't already have a creature grappled, so they just immediately get on that. So we'll go ahead and add that in, the 1d6 plus the strength modifier for 5.5. We will then move that into here, and then we'll take a look here, because we do have a condition of grappled. We'll go and take a look, and we'll see that we need to add in a single here. Now, I've added this little note here that says, use single if in the drop down if the monster causes a single condition effect that lasts more than 1 round. So in this instance, it would be grappled, and we are indeed getting that modifier. Otherwise, use multiple if there are multiple things happening, like poisoned and paralysis, or restrained and blinded. I don't know. There's a variety of different reasons to have an attack modifier here. Now, the thing about this is that it's a very small amount, so the attack condition here is only actually getting maybe about 3% for a single condition, and then 5% on multiples. So because our attack isn't doing a lot of damage as it is, we're not getting that much more on top of it. If anything, 3% is only giving us what was that? 0.5, and then that's for 1%, so that would be 1.5. Technically, in theory, we should I guess be up to 6 if we round up, but we're rounding down because it's damage. So because, you know, we haven't hit 6 or higher, that's why we're still at a 5, even though we by normal math rules should be rounding up, but because it's damage and hit points, we round down. All right, so from there we can go ahead and add in the, well, actually we'll take a step back and take a look at the bonus action here. We have Rotten Hold. The zombie gnaws idly on the creature grappled by it. The target makes a DC con save or takes 2 poison damage. A humanoid slain by the zombie by this bonus action rises 24 hours later as a zombie, unless the humanoid is restored to life or its body is destroyed. So we got some fun, like, hey, this is how you become a zombie in this game from the bite. But only if you die by it. By the bite itself. So it's not like it's an actual disease. It's like a very short-lived, like crazy high half-life for this virus that the zombie has in it. So this one will then be, we'll go ahead and throw this in the tools here, and it's going to be that. So we get 2.5. We'll add that in here. There is technically no condition to it, only that we have, you know, the chance to become a zombie 24 hours later if they're dead and not revived. And from there, we're going to go ahead and start adding in the damage. Now, we're going to have our creature grappled on the first attack. In theory, either they escape or we re-grapple, so we're going to go ahead and just keep adding these both together. Not really much of a multi-attack per se, but we can just kind of add these in right here. So we'll add these together, and then we'll use this for every round of combat, which is what I like to use the concentration for, since concentration is expected to be every round of combat. We have an 8, which means we are technically 1 over the expected, but since you need 2 for damage, that's perfectly fine. And we are checking versus the high end in this case. So we always check against the low end if the damage is under what we're expected, and we check against the high end if it's over the range of 5 to 7 here. So that's everything we have going on. So let's take a look at our modifiers here. We are getting 10 for our AC being too low, and we are also getting an extra 5 for the speed being too low. So we have 15 plus 15 there, and then we are losing 5% because we have poison immunity, which ironically, I think most players know at this point not to use poison. And then we are also getting another minus 5% for our undead fortitude, which gives us, 15 minus 5 or 10. We're ending up with a plus 5 hit point adjustment, or plus 5% hit point adjustment. There we go. And that ends us with an actual hit point of 16, just like we were expecting from the character sheet here, which you can take a look. It's like page 332 in the Monster Vault book for Tales of the Valiant. And sure enough, 100%, this monster is good to go. And have fun, wreak some havoc with your zombies. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.